So the first major DLC for Borderlands 3 released a short while ago, being Moxxi's Heist of the handsome Jackpot. Throughout this whole DLC, one of, if not the most prominent player in this add-on is Timothy Lawrence, the once Jack body double DLC character from the pre-sequel. Much speculation has surrounded this characters as well as others as to where they were and what they were up to after the events of the previous games. Timothy was one of the few from the past who made the ever most subtle of appearances, only being referred to as Timothy Doppelman on a movie poster around this entire game. This led to the popular belief, including myself, that he was a movie star, making the most out of a less than ideal situation. But that would not have been the case. Timothy's story tracks back to when Jack was still alive, after the events of the pre-sequel. In this DLC, we learned that Timothy wasn't the only doppelganger of his kind. Many of us thought what made Timothy unique and different was the fact that physical alterations were made to him. Even if he wanted to, he could not look or sound different for the rest of his life.
Is it done?
Yes, he's your spitting, cursing, heroic image.
Perfect. Did you tell him that the process can't be reversed?
I don't think it'll be an issue. I think he's rather enjoying being you with all your endowments.
Before that, the only other doppelganger we encountered was an opportunity in Borderlands 2, but that doppelganger was simply cloaked using a hologram. But it turns out others like Timothy existed, those who underwent physical alterations. As we learn in this DLC, Timothy's number designation is 21C.
Doppelganger 21C identified. Hey there, handsome. Winning hand access granted.
So it turns out there were many others as well. But while physical changes were made to him, precautions were underwent as well. A bomb would be placed into Timothy's face which prevented him from saying his real name.
Try telling it to the guy who doesn't have a bomb surgically implanted in his face, lady. Well, I'm legally forbidden to tell you, but it rhymes with Jimothy.
The doppelgangers would also be injected with a splice of Jack's DNA, making it easier for Jack's personality to be real. But with all of these doppelgangers in existence, they were all modeled under Jack when he was normal, for a lack of a better term. It's why Timothy isn't wearing a mask in his introduction in the pre-sequel. But at the end of the game, when Lilith punched the vault symbol into Jack's face, thus branding him where he then decided to don a handsome mask, everyone else was forced to bear that same fate. All of the doppelgangers' faces were branded with the vault symbol and masks were put on them to keep up Jack's charade. Timothy would carry on a little disdain for Lilith because of this.
I never really resented Lilith, but after Jack got his scar, he branded all of us body doubles to match, so I'm a little miffed about that.
It is within some time frame around this point that the movie poster we've seen around Borderlands 3 takes place. Jack had forced Timothy to be in this movie. Adult movie. It was porn, most likely. Looking at the names outside of Timothy, it's a harder than hard production. There's Ricky Bulldoze Her, Calvin Penrod. Implication, though not directly stated, is it was not a traditional movie, but one that Timothy was part of nonetheless, though he's not proud of it.
Hey, you didn't see any of those movies Jack made me do, right? You know what? Forget I mentioned it.
Then, for whatever reason, Timothy, alongside many other doppelgangers, were placed onto Jack's casino, the handsome Jackpot. The bombs implanted into their faces, which would explode if they said their real name, were altered so now they would explode if they tried to leave the casino. But they were all given what is referred to as a winning hand, which gives complete access to the entire casino. But while all of these doppelgangers were here, Jack would die and the casino would fall into chaos. Some of the doppelgangers would then try to help the residents of the casino, and others attempt to kill.
The doppelgangers, we weren't all bad guys. When the lockdown happened, some of them actually tried to use their winning hands to help out the survivors, get them something to eat. They all got torn to pieces, so I stayed alive.
The result would leave Timothy as the only remaining doppelganger alive.
Oh, right, the hand thing. Jack called it his winning hand. All the doppelgangers have one. Had. Just me now. The rest are dead. I didn't kill them. Most of them. I killed a couple. Self-defense. We're gonna go with self-defense.
He would be trapped on the casino for a total of 7 years, and others, such as Pretty Boy, rose to prominence and took control, seeking to gain Timothy's winning hand. This is where the events of the DLC take place. Timothy, having been stuck here for many years, wishes to get his hand on the detonator to the bomb in his face so he can deactivate it and leave. Moxie wishes to claim the handsome Jackpot, as it was originally her design, which Jack stole for himself. And with the help of a few comrades and a few betrayals along the way, Pretty Boy is faced and killed. Timothy cuts off his hand so the Vault Hunter can use it to save the casino from being sucked into a black hole, and Moxie agrees to go on a date with Timothy. He goes on to earn the trust of the Vault Hunters and disappears from the casino. Ironically, what was a reintroduction of his character only once again sends him off into the future of the unknown. Where he is going or what he intends to do is a mystery, but what is most important is the fact that he is now an official ally of the Crimson Raiders, and his efforts may be needed for a more glorious and spectacular event. Anyway guys, that is a brief video on what happened to Timothy Lawrence and what he'd been up to after the events of the pre-sequel. Moxie's Heist DLC is a very self-contained story which mended a potential rift between these two characters. I'm glad characters of the past are getting a focus for these DLCs, and Timothy Lawrence was just one of what I hope is many more. In the meantime, be sure to check out my other Borderlands videos. There's many more theories, speculation, and timeline videos if you're so interested. But be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.